Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm a homeschool mom to 3. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing all of our curriculum choices for my middle schooler for the 2024-2025 school year. Middle schooler is 12, almost 13, and she is 7th grade-ish, 8th grade-ish. And today I just wanted to share what we're going to be using next year. So my main focus for Lacey for the next school year is writing. And up until now, she hasn't had a ton of formal writing instruction. We have kind of really dabbled in it very gently, and that was done on purpose because she is a very reluctant writer, and I decided to kind of wait until she's a bit older and more mature to be able to handle the frustration that she feels with writing a little bit better. There are so many writing and language arts curriculums out there to choose from. It's almost a little overwhelming. And in my research, I knew that I wanted a program that was going to teach her what she needed to know very explicitly, but also keep it fun, light, and gentle. I didn't want to overwhelm her or stress her out or make her daily school day super stressful. I know that it's already going to be challenging for her, but I don't want it to be to where it's so overwhelming that she just hates every day. So the curriculum I chose for our main language arts curriculum next year is Write Shop, and we went with Write Shop Junior Book F. I have heard really good things about this program. Looking at it, it looks like a really fun approach to writing. It almost takes a project-based approach, which I think will really appeal to my daughter. It's very visually appealing. There's a lot of visual graphic organizers and ways to help her break down the writing process in a creative way. Something that kind of drew me back from this curriculum when I first was looking into it was the amount of prep work. It looks like a lot of prep on my part, and as a homeschool mom of 3 who is busy, I don't always love curriculums that require a lot of prep from me. However, I have done a lot of research and watched a lot of videos where people have prepped this curriculum, and a lot of them were really helpful in breaking it down, keeping it simple and straightforward so that I feel like I can do it. So I will definitely make a video how I prep this curriculum when the time comes, because I think it could be really helpful. It looks really hands-on and fun, and I really think it's going to work really well for her. So there are a couple different components to this curriculum. You have the teacher's guide, which is this big book here on the front, all spiral bound. Then you have the Time Saver Pack, which I'm not entirely sure. I think it's like different game boards and stuff. I'm not entirely sure exactly what it is. I haven't really opened anything to really take a deep look into it, but got that. Then you have this Fold and Go grammar pack, which is a hands-on grammar approach, and it looks super interesting. It's kind of a lot of cut and paste, similar style to what a lap book would be, but grammar style. And I think that it'll be a really fun way to learn some grammar. And then you have the student worksheet pack, which has all of the worksheets the student completes in here, different graphic organizers, and just fun little things in there. So that's what we're going to be using for like our main curriculum for language arts. I know that Write Shop includes grammar, but I'm not sure how in-depth it is, and so I am going to be adding in Fix-It Grammar for her as well. Fix-It Grammar is a very short and sweet, to the point, independent grammar curriculum. It basically follows a story, and it teaches it in a story form where you're reading the story. There's different excerpts from the story that the child will edit grammatical errors in and rewrite the story. And so throughout the entire year, you're going through the entire story. And I like that approach. I think it sounds really interesting. My daughter actually really loves to edit when she's doing grammar lessons, like paragraphs and stuff. She finds it kind of fun. It's like a puzzle trying to find every error. And so I think she's going to really enjoy this. And I love that it's short and sweet and simple. I didn't want anything crazy heavy just because I think that Write Shop is going to take a lot of our time and be really involved. And so I didn't want to overload her with more grammar on top of everything else she's doing. I actually purchased this last year thinking I was going to add it in this last school year, and then ended up not feeling like I needed to. So it's going to be put to use this year instead. So even though my main focus is composition and writing, I don't want to just drop literature. We have been very literature heavy language arts homeschoolers, and so we love reading and we love books. So we are actually going to be taking a literature guide approach and novel study guide approach for next school year. I have chosen quite a few literature guides for my daughter, and the main company we're going to be using for our lit guide study is Where'd You Learn That? And this is Rachel from Seminoles Families Company. And we've used a lot of their resources in the past, and I've wanted to try these literature guides so bad, but I never could really find where to fit them in with our literature heavy language arts that we were already doing. So I thought that this would be the perfect year to try them out. So the ones that I chose from Where'd You Learn That for her next year are Hoot, Bronze and Sunflower, Esperanza Rising, The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and The Wednesday Wars. And something I appreciate about Rachel's resources are that they're very simple. They're straightforward. There's not like a lot of extra fluff in there. However, it's very thorough, and I love the way that it approaches comprehension in here, breaking down the literature, including some vocabulary in there, and just really taking a closer look at the book without it being like an overwhelming experience. So I'm really excited to try these out next year. So I also purchased a couple other literature guides from different companies, and one of them is the Hobbit unit study from Build Your Library. We have never used any Build Your Library resources before, so we're gonna be trying it out this year. The Hobbit is a book that I think she will really enjoy. She loves like fantasy books. And then the last two are from Hearth and Story, and I got The Giver, which is a novel that I specifically remember reading in middle school and really enjoying. And then Starry River of the Sky, which is by Grace Lin, and she wrote Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, which we read a couple years ago and really enjoyed. And so it'll be cool to read another book from that author. Something else I would like to do with Lacey are poet studies. About 1 or 2 poet studies I think I could squeeze in next year, where we learn about a specific poet, their style, their way of writing poetry, and about their life and their history and all of that. Maybe we'll do like a research project on them or something at the end, complete with writing our own poetry. So the 2 poets that I have in mind to study next year are Emily Dickinson and Robert Frost. I'm not sure if those are who we will actually be doing, but that's kind of the idea I have. I haven't really set that in stone yet. I'm still researching things, but this is going to be a study that I kind of pull things from like all on my own to create. And so when the time comes, I will definitely share all the resources that I am using for our poet study. But I really wanted to study specific poets, not just like a book full of poems from a lot of different authors. I just want to focus on one at a time. So we're going to be trying to do that next year too. The last thing we're going to be using for like language arts is this 180 days of spelling and word study. And I have looked into this curriculum for a few years and never really found a fit for it. However, I feel like as my daughter gets older, it's getting more and more important to kind of focus on vocabulary and really build that in her. Specifically for standardized testing, I know that there's a lot of vocabulary on there, and so I really want her to be comfortable and have a large vocabulary. She naturally does actually speak with a pretty great vocabulary, so I think that this is going to be really good for her just to kind of expand upon that. Practice some spelling skills. It's just a page a day and really simple and straightforward. Speaking of standardized test prep, we're going to be focusing on that a little bit this year too. So I got this test prep book from Harcourt Family Learning, and this basically is a book that gives you testing tips throughout, and then it gives you a bunch of questions in the style of a standardized test. I think testing is a unique skill in itself. I think that questions that are on standardized tests can be worded a certain unique way, and it can be confusing. So I think that seeing some of these practice questions on here will help her kind of prepare for standardized testing in the future. The ACT, the SAT, all of those tests that she's going to have to take in high school. It has like excerpts for her to read and focuses on comprehension. It also has like inferencing skills that you're working on, and also some math in here too. So it's just practice questions. And I think that we're probably going to do this a couple times a week. Let's talk about math. So we are actually going to be using Apologia Level 6. We love Apologia Math, and it's been a really good fit for Lacey this last school year. This one in particular, this level is actually brand new. It just released like a week or two ago, and it looks so good. And I'm really excited to use this again with her this year. It's very hands-on. There's like projects in there. There's activities to learn the skills. I love that it breaks down the concepts multiple different ways to really help kids visualize the concept and learn it and master it. We just really have enjoyed this. So we're going to be sticking with this. I will definitely do a flip through of this soon so you guys can see this new level, but we're really excited. For history, we are going to be using the Gather Round U.S. History units. We used a few of the World History units this school year and loved our experience with them. We love the way that they're written. My daughter is a very auditory learner, and so she loves being read to, and she just soaks it in like a little sponge. So she loves like read aloud type curriculum, and so this works really well for her. We have never used these little mini units, these U.S. history ones, so I'm excited to try these out. I think that they're going to be really, really good. We also will add in extra things. We love using the Gather Round app, which I have mentioned multiple times, but it's a really great resource because it breaks down some extra things you can do per unit, per lesson, which is really super helpful and organized, which I appreciate. And so crafts, projects, recipes, different video links, and book suggestions. And so we'll definitely be exploring that to see what I can pull that's extra to really enrich our history learning this school year. So we're really excited to kind of dive into these. I'm hoping to get through as many as I can of these units this year. I'm not sure how many we will get through, but hopefully quite a few. And yeah, we're excited. Going along with United States history, I also want to do United States geography. However, instead of buying an entire geography curriculum, I decided to get this book, and this is called The 50 States. And this book is really cool. It's really big, first of all, and it has a ton of information on each state, ranging from important people from that state that made history. You have landmarks and different pieces of land that really stand out, national parks, animals that live there, kind of the climate, and it also talks about the capital and when it became a state and all of that too. So I thought that this book would be a really great way to study state geography without doing an entire another curriculum. I'm hoping to get like a map of the United States and color our way through the United States, really show her where the states are in our country so that she can know where they are, point to a state and know what it is, know the capital, that sort of thing. So we'll definitely be using this book and then kind of expanding on it as we see needed. So for science this year, we are diving into earth science, and we're going to be using Apologia, Exploring Creation with Earth Science. And this is technically part of their elementary science series. However, looking at the information in here, I do not think that it is too young for her. I think the information is very rich, and I think she'll get a lot out of it even at that age range. And I also really want to include my second grader in this too, because he loves science and experiments and such, so I think he'll love tagging along, and I don't want the information to be over his head too. We have never done earth science in our homeschool. Most of the sciences that we have focused on so far have been biology sciences like zoology and animal science and botany and that kind of thing, because my daughter has a really high interest in those subjects. So this is going to be new territory for us, and I am actually really excited to study something new in science because I'm kind of tired of the animals and plants. And also, my daughter knows so much about animals and plants that when we're reading science studies on that, she's like not surprised by a lot of the things because she already knows it. She's a little encyclopedia when it comes to those topics. So this will be something new for her because I don't believe that she knows a lot about earth science and such. So it's going to be really fun, I think. There are a lot of activities and experiments in this curriculum, which I love and my kids love. I think it really helps make science come alive when you can do those kinds of things. So I'm really excited to use this next year. And then I also got the kit for earth science from Nature's Workshop Plus. So if you order Apologia Science from Rainbow Resource, and I think Christian Book too, you can get these there too. And these are kits put together for that curriculum. And it has all of your, or most of your, science experiment and activity supplies right inside. I love that because now I don't have to go source those myself and try to track those down. I have them all in this little box, and I appreciate that because I am not the most prepared person and organized person when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I appreciate this little package with all of that supplies right in there. So as an elective, Lacey's going to be taking Spanish, and Spanish was a curriculum that was really hard for me to find for her, like a right fit. When researching, there's a lot of foreign language curriculums for little kids, a lot of really fun looking ones. However, I have a middle schooler. I don't want to use a little kid curriculum with her. I want her to be learning Spanish on her level, and that's a little bit harder to track down. Also, budget, cost. Oh my gosh, foreign language curriculums seem to be really pricey, so that was also a challenge as well. I did find one that we're going to try out this year, and it is an online Spanish course, and it is from athomemiddleschool.com. So athomemiddleschool.com is a website that has courses for middle school, lots of different things. And the Spanish course in particular is more of a video-based curriculum, and so they have links to a couple videos per lesson. They have them all broken down by lesson. So like lesson 1, you might have 2 or 3 videos that you watch, and then they have questions that they ask about the videos, and you actually have to like type in answers to them and such. I may let Lacey use a notebook instead of typing them in just so they don't accidentally like disappear or something. But just learning Spanish that way. It also uses Duolingo, which is an app, a language learning app. It's not like the sole part of the curriculum. It's more so after she finishes the lesson, she does 10 to 15 minutes of practice with Duolingo. So we're going to try it out. It's free, so why not try it? Give it a try. We'll see how it goes. If I feel like I need something more for her, I will go back to the drawing board and back to researching different Spanish curriculums, but I thought we would give it a shot. Lacey also is going to be taking a course from Khan Academy as an elective called Pixar in a Box, or In the Box. I always mess up that name. I think it's Pixar in the Box. And it is a course that teaches animation. And Lacey's very interested in animation. She is always making stop motion videos, and she's interested in Minecraft and video games, and so she just wants to learn how that is done and like the history of it and the process. So it's a free course, and so we're gonna do that too for some fun. So that's everything for my middle schooler. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any specific questions on any of the resources I mentioned or want to see a closer look at any of them, let me know down below because I would be happy to answer and do that for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.